To all the urbanists out there, the entire island of Ireland. Of course, it's the place of the most famous beer in the world, one of the biggest, $2 billion. 4 ingredients, one of them being barley, the other one being running water. Let me know the 4th ingredient right now in the comments. I'm Ariel, this is Urbanist. Let me know where you're watching from, and let's explore here in Dublin, Ireland. See a huge barrel over here. I am super excited to show you this amazing tour experience. It's a self-guided tour, so we're just going to be Guinness Storehouse was so kind enough to give me complimentary tickets. Tour is down below, and I hope you enjoy. We're going to walk around, enjoy the tour, which is self-guided, show you the displays, learn a little bit about the history of Guinness, and later on go up to the Gravity Bar. So let's go. So here are some. This is one of the core ingredients to making Guinness. It's water, barley, hops, and yeast. 4 natural ingredients carefully selected to ensure that they are the highest quality. Each ingredient is according to the secret recipe. So, this and most valuable beer companies in the entire world, as I mentioned, they're worth more than $2 billion. They date back all the way to the mid-1700s. They at first were making a variety of beers, including the blonde kind, the ales and the amber beers. But then by the late 1700s, they stuck fully to dark beers, specifically stout, which started as a porter style brought over from England. We are right now in the storehouse where the founder of the Guinness Beer Company ended up getting the lease from this formerly run-down brewery by the 1700s for 9,000 years lease. He had to pay, though, £45 per year. Counting that they're worth $2 billion, I think £45 is not too much of an expense. Now, that is the reason why I'm here in 480p, because we rather old, very, very thick walls. So I can't actually go live in HD because there's very poor cell phone data service here. And even if I tried Wi-Fi. So I hope you enjoyed despite the low quality. I bet there's full 4K videos out there of the storehouse, but this is live. So I hope you enjoy the live experience. For the 200 stars. So here's one of the ingredients, barley. Oh yeah, barley. Hey, Panajota, Sally, Darren, nice to see you here. Are you going to pull a pint? Yes, towards the end of this video, I'll be showing you the views of Dublin from the Gravity Bar, which is their... Ariel, you're a chump, chug, says Mr. Pot. No chugging for Guinness. We take our sweet, sweet time with Guinness. Mir, have you left a message yesterday? Yes, I've been receiving a lot of messages, Mir. Thank you so much for sending the message. I'm unable to get back to all of them, but I do read them. So thank you so much for sending your recommendations. I really do appreciate it. And many Irish urbanists have been so kind in sending a very long list of recommendations. I have read them, so know that. I've never touched barley before. It's so cool. Look at this. It leaves like kind of a grainy texture. A lot of people. Let's wait until people move so I can barley display. This got full all of a sudden. So it says barley. Guinness is brewed using a combination of malted, unmalted, and roasted barley. The Mesopotamians millennia ago found that barley was especially suitable for brewing. Before barley can be used for brewing, the starches it contains need to be broken down. Malting starts that process. The barley is steeped in water until it begins to sprout and the grain is then dried in a kiln, pardon that pronunciation, to halt the growing process. Malting pits like this one were traditionally used to turn the grain during malting, ensuring an even spread of temperature. Barley provides the basic raw ingredient for fermentation, contributing to the balanced flavor and gives Guinness beer its characteristic deep ruby red color. Many people would just call it black. At St. James Gate Brewery, which uses 100,000 tons of Irish grown barley per year. So all the ingredients are found here except for one, hops, because hops don't easily grow in this area of the world. So they bring in hops from Australia and a few other countries. So what they won't tell you here is why did they use various different types of barley. They said that they use malted, unmalted, other types of barley. The making of porter style of beer back in England, there was a huge rush of people coming in from all parts of England countryside to the main cities, like Manchester, London, Birmingham, all these major cities. With all these influx of people during the Industrial Revolution, the beer companies had to take into account the large mass of people, and also take into account that they couldn't quite rise the prices. And also there was heavy tax on many beer ingredients. In order to circumvent the tax laws for beer making in England back in the Industrial Revolution of the late 1600s, early 1700s, they end up using other types of barley and other types of grain in order to cheat their way to get it taxes. That lends itself to the very beginnings of the porter style. People said that men who opened doors and worked at and the beer came out darker than usual. And that's where later on it converted into stout, and I think we'll learn about that later. Marisha says weeks later, now I'm also in Ireland. A few days ago I was in Dublin. That's amazing. All right. So here, hops. It says hops plants can grow an astonishing 15 feet in height. In past, men on stilts attached their strings from pegs can grow to such heights. Picking was traditionally done by hand, but today machinery is increasingly used in hop harvest. So here are the hops. If you're a fan of IPA, might notice IPAs have a very strong bitter taste to them. The reason they do is because they use extra hops in an IPA. Well, of course, hops also lend to the bitter taste of Guinness. And hops are the flower right over here that you see, the bud. So it says hops only grow in 2 regions of the world. The temperature plant requires a specific amount of sunlight, only between 35 degrees and 55 degrees north and south of the equator. Our hop buyer sources the highest quality hops from Australia, the Czech Republic, Germany, the United Kingdom, the US. So I mistakenly said England before. Oh, yeah, England is from here. This is probably very south of England. Yeah, very south of England. So wait a minute. This might look very similar to another plant. Never gone to Colorado or Amsterdam. This looks very similar to cannabis. It's because hops, the plant, is a close relative of cannabis. And if you ever smell hops fresh, they have a similar smell. Okay, the next ingredients. And the reason it sounds so noisy is because of the waterfall right there. We're taking our sweet time here. Again, there's a bunch of other videos that you can see if you really want to see this in 4 minutes, 5 minutes. There's a bunch of other videos. Here we're taking our sweet time because we're live. Yeast. You are now in the presence of the national treasure, Arthur's yeast. Oh, interesting. Yeah, why is that? Let's see. Legend has it that from the strain used by Arthur Guinness himself, the founder of the company. We do know that since the early 19th century, some yeast from each brew has been transferred to the next. That has been done to ensure consistency. The yeast for Guinness is only grown here at St. James's Gate, the brewery we're at, and is so valuable that a reserve supply is always kept locked in the director's safe. If anything happened to the main supply, could replenish stock for a few hours. Oh my god. You have some yeast just in case we need to rebuild and make Guinness once again from scratch. The strain of yeast goes everywhere it is brewed. Yeast is an alcohol. It's a nutrient of barley into alcohol. Yeast, a little goes a long, long way. The Egyptians discovered that crushed grapes kept in a warm place produce alcohol. Yep. Alcohol has been discovered about 9,000 years ago when beer was discovered, but the Egyptians started really making it, 6,000 years ago, around there. Following an enjoyable period of trial and error, yeast was identified as the magic ingredient. Yeast turns the natural sugars and grain into oxide. It works at an amazing speed, constantly reproducing itself. So, in essence, you are drinking beer. If you drink a Guinness, especially here in Ireland, you're drinking a beer that potentially has the same ingredient as Sir Arthur Guinness of the 1700s himself. Guinness, who's the actor. I think Sir Alec is Scottish, aka Obi-Wan Kenobi. Let's go. Do we go here? Bear with me for a second. Go around there. Breathe in the air around you. That's the smell of hops. Hops have that own distinct flavor and aroma. Guinness has more hops than you'll find in lagers and ales. if you're used to drinking a lager, by the way. Another reason that Guinness tastes different. That's a noisy waterfall. Noisy waterfall. The water used in brewing Guinness at St. James Gate comes from Wicklow Mountain nearby, part of the original lease which Arthur Guinness signed in 1759 allowed him important water rights to the city's water course. It was these rights that Arthur Guinness valiantly defended in the 1770s when sheriffs from Dublin Corporation threatened to cut off his water supply. Contrary to popular belief, the water is not and has never been drawn from the million liters of water that flow into Guinness Brewery every day comes from the mountains of the city of Dublin. A source of quality water is essential for brewing. In fact, Arthur Guinness founded his brewery at St. James's Gate because of its excellent water supply. Only water of the highest quality is to be used in brewing Guinness. Water used to brew Guinness is always soft water with a low mineral content. It is, ladies and gentlemen. Softer and moist. Let's move away from the water content. Oh, peace and quiet.
And she supported Arthur's business, investing her own money and using her family influence to help it grow. Not only that, she was a fine mother too. Now, being a parent is never easy. In the 18th century, Ireland was no exception. No, it wasn't. It was a difficult place to raise a family. Back then, a child's chances of surviving into adulthood were only 50%. Arthur and Olivia had 21 children. Mrs. Olivia Guinness gave birth to 21 children. That means that. What a woman. Now, I said that a child's chances weren't good back then. Arthur and Olivia buried 11 of their children. 11. 10 were lucky. And it was those 10 who carried the Guinness name forward, who would make Guinness what it is today. Yep, Olivia, Mrs. Arthur Guinness.
Oh, who's this guy?
Urbanist, thank you. What are the horses? That seems confusing. Anyway, you must have known something. That seems correct.
You signed a 9,000-year lease. I mean, that's not just dipping your toe in the water, is it? Well, Arthur was settling in for the long stay. Not only that, but he soon decided to stop brewing everything except porter. Brave man was Arthur. Well, I guess he knew something the others didn't. And like pulling a pint of Guinness, good things come to those who wait. And Arthur didn't hurry. had 9,000 years. Still, within 50 years, the brewery had doubled in size. And within 100, it may have seemed mad at the time, but Arthur knew what he was about. And Guinness has shipped to every corner of the world ever since. Of course, we still keep a drop here for ourselves, too.
You've heard of Mr. Arthur Guinness, and I dare say you've heard of the saying that behind every great man is a great woman. So, what about Mrs. Arthur Guinness?
Okay, so the nurse, Joe, great question. There used to be people or prescribe Guinness here, and they claimed that because it was a good source of nutrients, especially iron, helps with the hormones during pregnancy. If anyone knows the exact name of it, do let us know in the comments. I think Matt wrote it down on Facebook. So that's why she was talking about years of her life, constantly pregnant over and over again. Something along those lines. Of course, nowadays Guinness does not claim any specific medical benefits, but people still say that there's actual medical benefits. And it wasn't just what people call old wives' tale. It's actually a real thing. Christine, thank you so much for 500 stars. We're getting closer and closer to our goal. We are about 60%. Thank you so much. We hit 100 in about 5 days. They will double it. So we need about 40,000 stars left. Let's keep on exploring. Roasting.
Here at St. James's Gate, we've been working with Irish barley farmers.
Look at that. So much for 350 stars.
Over the years, we've perfected.
You get to Ireland to encourage drinking during pregnancy. Again, everyone's lifestyle is different. Everyone neither condoning nor condemning the drinking of alcohol. Do you, okay? Let's keep it nice. 232 degrees Celsius temperature we roast at to create the unique flavor, aroma, and color of Guinness. So at 0, the fresh barley begins its roasting journey. It's pale in color, very hard in texture. Then 190, the barley starts to crystallize. Dark malt, crunchy, sweet, and astringent with some burnt notes. Product has a similar look to roasted barley, but take a closer view, the grain needs more roasting and more time. Come to rows and wait. 232, the barley is now fully roasted and is transformed into our famous roasted barley. The roaster confirms that the roasted barley is perfectly roasted. The grain is uniquely black and roasted throughout an amazing roasted coffee and chocolate aroma. Interesting. It's brittle in texture and tastes like an explosion. That sounds good. Now you can appreciate where Guinness gets this unique color and aroma from. Oh, it's good. I want some.
Any higher, the barley catches fire. Any lower, the beer won't develop its unique character. It's our roasted barley that gives Guinness its iconic color, taste,
Joe, thank you so much for pressing that like button. Everyone slam that like button right now. Robbie, do I plan on going Belfast? Still don't know yet.
Here at St. James's Gate, we've been working with Irish barley farmers. Over the years, we've perfected. We roast at exactly 232 degrees. Any higher, the barley catches fire. Any lower, the beer won't develop its unique character. It's our roasted barley that gives Guinness. Here at St. James's Gate, we've been working with Irish barley farmers and maltsters.
Did it get free taste samples? Yeah, towards the end. There's a rooftop bar. We'll see it soon. I love anything Irish. Yeah, let me know if you're enjoying this right now, and if you are, slam that like button. Facebook, and I mean, YT doesn't really know that people want to see these videos yet. They think people want to see more of a vlog, and they think people want to see just New York. So slam that like button, teach the YT algorithm to start showing these videos to more people. Just yesterday, I received a few comments to the video yesterday because all of you pressed that like button and they enjoyed it. So thank you so much. Let me know if you're on Team Like. Robbie, this is indeed St. James's Gate. Manuela, gracias por compartiendo Dublin en este lugar donde los sueños se vuelven realidad. Qué bien que estás cantando estos videos de Dublin. Estoy aquí por varios días más. So glad you're enjoying the Dublin videos. I'm here for a few more days. Get a camera person so I could be on camera more. You know, Sean, part of the charm of my style live videos, and I'm glad you want to see me more. In the future, I'll be doing more videos as I have bigger budgets and to do other different types of videos where I do more things on camera. But I think the part of the charm of these live videos is you get to see the actual space. So thank you so much. Hey, Susie sent some stars. Thank you so much for the stars, Susie. Woot woot. I'm waiting for the tasting part of the tour. There's a great segment by where he takes the entire tour just to get that free pint of Guinness. So clocks come to those who wait, as I said earlier in relation to barley. Oh, the nitrogen. This is a like, super close-up look on the bubbles on that pint of Guinness. Dublin is overly ambitious. Small Joe says Ariel's showing more of this place than Coney O'Brien did on his show. Yep, it's a different type of program. Cannot wait for the Michael Bay style. I don't know. You make a great point. Indeed, as I mentioned before, I will be producing high-end live streams at some point with explosions, car chases, international. Nitrogen, 1959. Guinness was the first brewer to introduce nitrogen into beer to achieve the super smooth mouthfeel of iconic creamy white head. Don't get the wrong idea, all of my American viewers. It's the secret behind Guinness's draughts surge and settle, the unique cascade of bubbles which every proper pint of Guinness must. The opportunity. Interdimensional. Ooh, pretty. There is an audio tour section of this. I haven't popped it up, but if you're curious and you come here, I don't think they're doing guided tours right now, but they do have these audio tours that you can scan the QR code and just listen to of that explanation. So they used to make these in copper, or they still do. Kettle in which the wort, the sugary substance used to make beer, was boiled with hops. Each copper could hold 172,000 and was heated from below by giant peat-fired furnaces. The vessels were scoured every week by hand and polished with fresh wort. Fascinating. It's like a huge tea kettle. That's the awesome thing. This guy. Michael Ash to thank for Guinness drought. Originally a lecturer in mathematics at Cambridge, Ash became a brewer at Guinness in 1951. At this time, carbonated draught beer was popular, yet Guinness, unlike most beers, was too lively and couldn't be draughted using CO2 alone. Ash became fascinated with solving this problem and relentlessly pursued a solution. Ash discovered that a mix of CO2 and nitrogen was only an effective way to draught Guinness. It actually transformed the beer because nitrogen is largely insoluble. It yields tiny, forming beautiful layers of creamy smoothness. Though Ash's extraordinary breakthrough, Guinness revolutionized the beer drinking behavior forever. The pioneering method of Ash and other predecessors have been handed down tirelessly by our Guinness brewers. You can say that ahead of his game.
Roasted barley gives Guinness its iconic. Guinness yeast is used for all our new Guinness. Nitro IPA, Irish Wheat, and Rye Pale are among some of these beers. Guinness samples brewed from around the world are sent to St. James's Gate to be tasted for quality. As the largest stout brewery in the world, Brewhouse 4 combines time-honored brewing techniques with modern technology. We are one of the few breweries in the world to roast our own barley on site, working tirelessly 365 days per year. Our yeast has been prized by generations of Guinness brewers. Every brew is taste tested 23 times and analysed a further 251 times by our team of scientists and brewers. St. James's Gate is one of the oldest industrial sites. Roasts at exactly 232 degrees centigrade. Used for a maximum of 8 subsequent brews before it becomes exhausted, and a new yeast starter will need to be propagated. The head height of draft Guinness should be between 12 and 18 millimeters. Brewhouse 4 is one of the most technologically advanced and environmentally sustainable breweries in the world. Our roasted barley gives Guinness its iconic colour, is used for all our new Guinness beers. Hop S13, Nitro IPA, some of these beers. Guinness samples brewed from around the world are sent to St. James's Gate to be tasted from home.
Guinness tasting time. Every day at 10 a.m., a small team of experts, taste testers, here at St. James's Gate check in. And every brew of Guinness for quality. So, there's a job where you just taste Guinness every day. Who wants that job? So who wants that job? Let me know. You want to taste? Mark, I will get in contact with the people at Guinness. Please send me your resume. Wow, it's like, look at this. That's huge. Oh, old school photos. Candy wants a job at 2, drinking Guinness every day. Hey, Ari, nice to see you here. I'm glad we're getting many applicants for the new Guinness taste tester job. I'm so excited.
The manufacture of the once familiar Guinness wooden cask. During the backing and hollowing operations, the stave is held in a jig called a horse or mare, which is an iron frame with a foot-operated spring clamp. gauge is used, the accuracy of his work. A watertight seal would be achieved without the use of any adhesives, nails, or screws. To render the oak's taste pliable, the cask is placed in a steam bell. It is then subjected to steam for half an hour.
Oh, smells good. Oh, smelling that. Some roasted barley. I want some. Alexander says, nice video, Ariel. I was in Carlsberg Brewery. Yeah. So this is a... I've recently been to a lot of breweries. And here's a ship where they would bring Guinness. It's called Castle Knock, built in 1930 for Arthur Guinness and Company. Oh, it smells like raw chocolate. Not the milk chocolate, like raw chocolate. So there's that kind of like fruity, toasted smell to it. So I've been to a lot of breweries before. This one's quite a unique experience in a way where they actually show you the actual processing. This is more kind of a museum, which I think is equally as cool. But if you do have the chance, I'm not sure if Ireland has one of these, but if you do have a chance, America has this. In New York, there's Brooklyn Brewery, where you can actually see the entire brewing process of the beer and actually smell the smells and see the huge machinery and everything.
Required that Guinness expand the brewery and increase production. As part of this expansion, the Guinness engineers developed an internal railway system. Construction began in 1873, and to cope with the maze of tight twists and turns in the brewery, the track had a very narrow gauge, just 22 inches between the rails. Railway. Packed narrow gauge trains were adapted through the use of a wagon housing to run on the much larger national network, enabling steam to carry Guinness to port and then beyond the Irish shores and throughout the rest of the world. The continued demand for Guinness from further afield meant steam was now harnessed to power boats. In the 19th century, the cargo ship would become increasingly important in the transportation of Guinness abroad. To begin with, Guinness was carried by regular shipping companies, but on the 9th of December 1913, Guinness took delivery of its own ship, the 509. Over the next 80 years, Guinness ships making their way from the port of Dublin to Liverpool and back again were a familiar sight.
Jade, thank you so much for 500 stars. I appreciate you, Jade. Thank you. Hey everyone, let's keep the topic to Guinness and Dublin. To Guinness and Dublin. There's, of course, a whole lot of history here in anything related to the Troubles or Northern Ireland. So keep it to Guinness and Dublin. And please no politics unless if it's more than 100 years old. And today we're not discussing anything outside of Dublin or Guinness. So keep it to that. Jay, thank you so much for the 500 stars. I appreciate you. Read the tagline, yeah. Now I'm really excited for that pint. I did not check from. So. We'll get some of this going up. Okay, everyone. Bad service, but I think we're going further up. Are they going to show you the port? I think they will. Yes. So I think once we go up to the gravity bar, which I'm already like really hyped up for. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. So yeah, we're gonna go up to the gravity bar, which is the rooftop, and we're gonna enjoy it. I'm so hyped for it. But here I see windows, so maybe we can get a glimpse of the actual brewery. Oh, this is kind of cool. Let's check this out. I think we're gonna see a better view. Here's St. James's Gate, aka Brewery, aka Guinness Storehouse. This over here, you see those big tanks? Yep, still used for roasting barley and storing Guinness and whatnot. I love when they use the foam skimmer. The skimmer, says Morgan. Ooh, maybe we'll see that. The web storehouse.com. So it's on YouTube in the description. I'll put it towards the end on right now. Write down in the comments Guinness-storehouse.com. They were so kind enough to offer me a complimentary ticket to visit here and also to film inside. As I've learned here in Ireland, unlike other countries, maybe like England, stricter rules to film inside museums and landmarks. So I had to reach out to many of these to give me permission. So thank you so much, Guinness Storehouse. Let's continue walking around. Donna says, I've been so busy, I have so much catching up to do in your videos. I'm going to sit down and catch up. Oh yeah, no worries, Donna. I'm so glad you enjoy it. For anyone who's curious, I usually do abbreviated stories on TikTok and on these 1 to 3 minute videos of specific stories that I usually cover in my live videos. So if you do my videos, just check out those 2 websites. I'm thinking about posting them on YouTube though. They barely get views because they're vertical. So I'm just gonna skip a lot of these kind of more regular things. And we have a huge line. What's the line for?
For your taste room, there's no taste at the minute. We just go through aromas and ingredients.
Okay.
This is the next group, and then the group after that is going to be about 10-minute wait. So if you want to join on, just queue up onto this side.
Okay.
Or if not, and you want your drink quicker, you can head on up the stairs. It's up to you.
Oh, okay. What happens in this part of the
We go
tour?
through aromas and ingredients and a little bit of history.
Okay, so there's one more part of history inside here. We gotta wait for a few more minutes. So feel free to ask me any questions. And afterwards, we're gonna go up to the rooftop bar where we can see the views of Dublin and also actually try some Guinness and also experience some pouring of Guinness, see it more in depth. Veronica says, I was going to ask you, Ariel, about filming. I've never, the places I've been to, never allowed the video portion to be taped. Yeah, indeed. But I did get, Ireland is a little bit more stricter than other countries. YouTube had shorts video section right now. It's on TikTok are actually 3 minutes. It's hard to tell a story, a good history tale in 1 minute. All right. It's hard to tell a story in 1 minute. So usually I do 3-minute videos, and unfortunately they are not considered as shorts. So when I post them on YouTube, they barely get views, which kind of sucks. And unfortunately, that's why I haven't been posting the short TikTok videos on the YT. Actually, visit the actual brewery. They offer they actually offer the archives by appointment only. You have to have a very Yes. All right, we gotta wait about 10 minutes. So what's in the archives? The archives consist of how they pour, instructions on how they pour, different documents by Arthur, who end up running the company all until 1986. The family ran the company fully. Now the family still owns, which which is quite a lot. And weird, we did the brewery tour since Halloween. You did? Yeah, so did they have a brewery tour before? Yeah, it seems like to only be the museum part. Yeah, no full brewery tour. What do you want to visit, says Revia. I haven't researched too much into the pubs. Let me know if you have any good pub recommendations. I went to the oldest one in Dublin, which is the Brazen Head, though it was tough to film inside there. But I'm excited to go Sean's Bar, maybe. And there's also a very old pub called Hole in the Wall in Kilkenny. Hey, Kenya, thank you so much for tuning in on... Thank you so much for tuning in. We gotta wait 10 minutes, so feel free to ask me anything. I have not much more to show you over here. And someone said my glasses match my mask. You know, I wore this mask. That's why I'm doing it. Donna, you will resume tomorrow. Thank you so much for tuning in, Donna. Kaiser, deberían que esperas en la fila. La espera sería más tediosa. Kaiser says they should. Eso yo creo que sí. En la experiencia de Bacardí en Puerto Rico, que yo filmé un poquito hace 2 años, ellos te dan el cóctel antes que empiece la... hacer una clase que tú haces como 3 cócteles y lo puedes tomar. Eso está bien bueno. Yes, that'll be great. Thank you.
You don't have to say stop to them, that's okay. It's just to remain just a bit of distance. Yeah. It's always funny seeing people come in and they're always like, I can't move, I'm not There guys, we have everybody in? I think so. Good stuff. Okay, so first of all, how are we all doing today? Are we all ready to be here in the Guinness Storehouse?
Yes.
Good stuff, I'm glad to hear it. Now, I'm going to draw your attention to the 4 pods in the centre of the room here. These ingredients that go into the making of Guinness. So over here we have the hops, then we have the roasted barley, then we have the malted barley, and finally we have the esters, who appears to be on us, just back from a... So each of these pods gives off the different aroma or flavour that each ingredient adds to Guinness. So with the hops you get a citrus note that's very smooth and very subtle. With the roasted barley, this one's always a fan favourite because that's where you get your chocolate and your coffee notes. And then with your malted barley, here's where you get your biscuit and your cereal notes, and that's the smell you'll smell every morning walking outside of the brewery, and the smell that I smell every day walking into work. And finally with the esters, interestingly enough, the note you get off of this is butterscotch, and it's also been compared to the Bailey's drinkers in the house, but if we do, you're more than welcome to compare. And if you'd like to go around to each of the pods now and see if you can get the
That does smell like Bailey's. The other one smells like one of those. Hoppy. And like bitter. about the same smell.
Now guys, I'm going to take you into the next room here when you're ready, and this next room is based on Arthur Guinness's own living room and has a few bits of Guinness memorabilia that we've brought with us over the years. So if you want to follow me in through here. So this is the main man himself up on the wall here, Arthur Guinness, and Arthur was born in 1725. Another important year to remember from his lifetime was of course 1759. And that was the year that he signed the famous 9,000 year lease for the premises you find yourself on today. And Arthur was a very busy man. Not just in Guinness, but also in his own family life, because as I'm sure you've heard, he was the father to 21 children. All with the same wife, and she did not get a break at all. Only 10 of their children actually, and the healthcare wasn't as good as it is today, but he did manage to pass on the family business to his second born son here, Arthur Guinness, pass it on to his son, Benjamin Lee Guinness. And they went through 9 generations of the Guinness family that were directly involved in the day-to-day running of the company, right up until 1992, so quite recently. The next generation came along, they decided they didn't want to be involved in the day-to-day running, so they took a step back, but they still remain honest shareholders and are deeply invested in the company's well-being. And over here, we have the original bell from the first ever Guinness that was used to ferry our product over to Liverpool in the United Kingdom. And what I always ring the bell. Do you want to go for it?
Okay. Do I just ring it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna break it.
No, don't worry, it'll break you sooner. But as you can hear, quite loud. Imagine when that thing rang, they all went running. But I always like to ask people whenever the groups come in, would they like to ring it? And last week, I asked the very same question, and a little kid stuck up his hand, ran up all excited. My God, he rang the bell. Threw his whole weight behind it, and I'm pretty used to it by now, but he tested my ears that day. Lovely perk of the job. But now guys, if I can turn your attention to these 6 pictures up on the wall here, the gentlemen in these pictures are all part of the same family, and that is the Purser family. And the Pursers were the heads of brewing for Guinness. But my favourite thing about these pictures is that if you start here, and you go all the way around in order, you get progressively happier as you go along. They start off super grumpy over this side, and this man might be the grumpiest man I've ever seen in my life. He clearly didn't want his picture taken that day. But we finally managed to crack a smile right at the end there. That picture for the first time, I was like, God, I didn't know that Colonel Sanders worked for Guinness. A spitting image of him. But thank you so much for listening, guys. And remember, when you do get to the end of your tour and get your delicious pint of Guinness, to look out for your citrus notes, your chocolate, your your butterscotch. But thank you so much for listening, guys, and have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you.
No problem at all. Thank you for listening.
Oh, cool. That's awesome. So the reason I had to, when someone was ringing the bell, is because Guinness asked me to not film any people as much as possible. So that's why. All right, let's go upstairs. Lady, you might need headphones. I'm sorry, lady. That's the best I could do. Is the guy old enough to drink Drinking age here is 18. It's in his early 20s. Yeah. Maybe not in America. Drinking time. We're getting close to drinking time. Who wants a Guinness? Let me know right now in the comments. You gotta claim it now. And we will send you one directly via one of the Guinness's former mascots. We're gonna send a Guinness to you. Stay tuned. Here's a harp. The famous down harp dating back to 1702 on display here is the advertising gallery and was purchased by Guinness in 1963. To ensure its continued preservation, the harp was made by Cormac O'Kelly of Ballinascreen and played by a blind harpist named Hepson or O'Hampsey in the 18th century. The Guinness harp, which serves as the brand's famous emblem, known as the O'Neill or Brian Boru harp. Also featured in the Irish flag, or the former Irish flag. I think Dublin has it as well. Currently housed in the Trinity College of Dublin, the original was made around the 14th century. Oh, which is open to tourists. I'm going there tomorrow. Guinness first adopted its image in 1862. So when the 1922 Irish Free State government chose that as a symbol of the nation, they had to use a mirror image of it to avoid trademark issues. Oh, that's funny. In honor of this now world-renowned logo, Guinness named it its first lager harp of 1960. Thank you so much for a $5 super chat. Macaulay says, buy a Guinness for me, but of course you drink it. Okay. Beautiful. Hey Helen, nice to see you here. We got a few Helens tuning in. Thank you so much, Helen Traubold and Helen Murray, for tuning in. Joe said, just send Ariel $2,000 for postage to get your Guinness over here. Indeed. That's all that's needed. 1929, the first ever printed ad published in a national newspaper to advertise Guinness. Oh, check this out. This is the first advertising ever issued in a national paper to advertise Guinness. Oh, interesting. They actually mentioned. It says that its health-giving value. Guinness builds. It enriches the blood. Doctors affirm that Guinness is a valuable restorative after influenza. Oh, interesting. 1929. So, yeah, influenza was still out there. And other weakened illnesses. Guinness is a valuable natural aid in cases of insomnia. Ooh, interesting. All you need is a few pints of Guinness and then you're directly off to sleep. So, you might recognize this old school commercials if you were from Ireland or the UK. What was that? Guinness, my Guinness, where a seal runs off with a Guinness. And also there's a kangaroo with a Guinness. This is the guy, I think the guard, who chases after the seal because the seal took his Guinness. Here's the Guinness ostrich. And the Guinness turtle as well. The Guinness. Ooh, right over here. The Guinness toucan. If you can say as you can, Guinness is good for you, how grand to be a toucan. Just think what toucan do. Great pun. My goodness, my goodness. So, wait a minute. Why did a toucan, a tortoise, a seal, and well, there was a marketing. They wanted to do a new marketing campaign around the 50s, and they hired a famous marketing firm, local, and they asked this renowned marketing firms in this area of the world, we don't want you to feature any beer or drinking in our marketing campaign, which is a bit of a challenge. If you're beer or the drinking, oh, okay, all right, that's going to be a little bit difficult. Well, also another requirement from Guinness to the marketing company was we want to give people the feeling of family. So you couldn't show drinking, you couldn't show too much of the beer, and you had to display family. They give you very general directions that are counter to what you're doing. But that advertising firm was very ingenious in saying, wait a minute. They went to, they saw like a display of the Edinburgh Zoo in Scotland, and they were like, wait a minute, a zoo. Zoos, they all hang out together, animals, they're happy animals equals family. And then they featured a bunch of game to a toucan, randomly representing Guinness. And here are all the old bottles. Thank you so much. Matt put down the name. John Gilroy was the advertiser who made the ad. In 1930s, he made the ad for Guinness is good for you. Familia, ¿cuál es mi cerveza favorita? Sabes que yo no tengo una cerveza tan favorita, pero a mí me encantan los stouts. No tomo tanto, pero cuando tomo un buen stout. Generalmente yo cojo los stouts más americanos porque son más cremosos. So I usually don't have a favorite beer, but usually it's not Guinness. I usually drink when I go drinking in the US, but here I'm in Ireland, so Guinness is it. Susie? I think they are. So a bunch of ad men got drunk and went to the zoo, says Roman. Maybe that. Helen says I should try a bottle of Guinness to see if it's different. That's a good point. Because Guinness was the first one to develop a trademark bottle and can to replicate the taste and texture of a freshly poured Guinness by draft. Or draught is what they call it here. Macaulay says, I think there was a documentary of a film of a guy who drank Guinness, only Guinness for 30 days, no food, no other drinks, and his doctor wasn't happy. Yeah, I can imagine. Guinness and oyster. What is this? Why is there an oyster here? Do they have a merch store? They do, and I think I just might get something from the merch store. Famous advertisements. My goodness. Gives me strength. you try the hop house as Rivia. What is the hop house? Do and yeah, here we have another mascot of Guinness. Right. Makes sense. Makes sense. Oh, here it is. Not everything in black and white makes sense. There we go. Makes sense. Fish on a bicycle. Well, that makes complete sense. Advertisers. Genius. Do you realize that advertising, especially in the still to this day, but especially in the 1900s, was an extremely lucrative job where you would make hundreds of thousands of dollars as an individual creative director. Look at a show like Mad Men. Or companies were making the millions just to get a fish on a bicycle. Oh, that's a good job. That's a good job. Good things come to those who wait.
A flavor, unlike anything else. Made to a time-honored recipe. What else tastes like it? Nothing.
Wait, really?
You'll remember. New Guinness Clear.
Oh, wow. Guinness Clear. Look at that. Pure H2O. Who wants some Guinness Clear? Just pure H2O. Nothing more. Chaotic Ranger says Guinness flavor water. The Guinness flavor water. It is pure water. The ad was central, says Ben. Indeed it was. Indeed it was. I think, I don't know about the Irish expression, but I know there's a... It's one's panties in a twist. Clear Guinness does not sound right. I think it's just a spoof. Yeah, it's not a real thing. Guinness 00. Alright, bear with me. I gotta. Alright, I think we're all set. Hey.
Oh yeah, so this
Yes.
is the final part of the tour now. So
Yes.
Level 7, that'll take you straight to the gravity bar.
Okay, wonderful.
We also have a second bar
Yeah.
here called the Stouty, where for €6 you can get a second pint of Guinness with your own face on it. So you can drink your own face off.
Oh, very cool. Interesting. Okay, everyone. I am unlocking the Guinness drinking my own face fund. It's €6. But first to the gravity bar, so stay tuned. I think can I go via escalator? Yeah, I can go escalator. And there's another bar here. Look at this. Lots of cool bars here. Are they still doing the So were you able to hear it? There, you can have another second pint of Guinness for €6 more, and they'll in the foam. So yeah, I could drink my own face for €6. So if you want offers for the Guinness drink your own face option, extension of the tour, which will be down there. But first, the free pint. Oh no, they do have the restaurant. They have a few, yeah. McCully says, do it, drink your face off. Yeah, they do have the restaurant. Arthur's All Day Cafe. So we can have a little fun. Nice. Macaulay's already sponsored part of the Guinness Fund. And there is a bracery too. What is this? Hey.
Sorry?
It's a restaurant?
Yeah, our menu's just over here.
Oh, the menu. Okay,
Yeah.
wonderful. Thank you. Wonderful. Okay, let's go to a gravity bar first, ladies and gentlemen. We gotta go more. Oh, let's go here, this way. I'm sorry for the out of focus. I'm not sure why it's out of focus. Okay, so the brasserie is open. Let me know if you want me to feature food on this live video. Sorry, my. Could they just stop with the mask rules just in general in the world? If you want to try the brasserie, if you want me to feature food on this video, I'll open up the coffers for food. But first we gotta get our free pint. That's the most important thing of this broadcast. The tour was just all kind of a prologue to this momentous event of trying a real pint. So get ready, everyone, for a pint of Guinness. I mean, I can have a pint anywhere, but we're having a pint where taste straight from the roasters of the brewery, really. Judy, I'm doing well. Thank you so much for tuning in. I think 7? Yeah. Susie says, can you have your dinner there? Get 260 straws. Ronald left a $6 super chat. All right, look at this. Look how huge this is. Oh, I'm so excited. Please queue for seating. Nice. Hey. For one, yeah. Right by the window.
Scan this code, the drinks when you come up and someone will be able to take
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. So here's the views of Dublin. Here we can see them in full. We see the rolling green hills there in the distance. So probably the best views we're gonna see. The tallest of the buildings. Riva, I'm here for a few more days. Okay. All right, enjoy the views. I had to move away from a group of people who were staring at me. Excuse me. We really have internet service here, so can I order manually?
Yeah, order manually. Someone will be able to take
Okay,
it.
wonderful. Thank you. Appreciate it. So this is the voucher, and you get 18 plus. Okay, so they literally do have Guinness Clear. I'll show you in a little bit, but there's an actual draft Guinness Clear. So they weren't joking. Guinness Clear does exist, at least here. Right here, Guinness Clear actually exists. And they might have Guinness 00, which I think should already be sold at this point. Susie says, try it. Try the Guinness Clear. I'll do my best. I'm so excited for this Guinness. So feel free to ask. Let me just wait for a little to get the Guinness, and I'll show you more of the views. No Budweiser, no. Guinness over here, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing more. Macaulay says Guinness Clear is just vodka. It might be. Who knows? You might get very drunk from Guinness Clear. No, Guinness Clear is just pure H2O. I think some people might come up here and just want water, because of course not everyone drinks. So I am waiting for someone to come. I'm surprised no one has come yet. Let me see. I'm just living here for 3 years now. I'm of Dublin. It's for the under 18, says Eibel. I think that's the case, yeah. I think they have Guinness 00, which is zero alcohol. So you can have the taste of Guinness with no alcohol. How about Jack Daniels? Nope, just pure Guinness here. Miguel, just pure Guinness, everyone. Nothing else. Pure Guinness. They're great at marketing. Indeed they are. Yeah, I can tell that they're really great at marketing. Yeah, really great at marketing. Please show us the perfect pour. I will. Let me just get someone to come. Yeah. Hey, yes, just a regular Guinness. Yeah, and I have the voucher. And can I show the pour?
Sorry?
Can I show the pour?
Today, so probably double check and make sure.
Yeah, thank you. I'm here. Okay, thank you so much. Okay. Unfortunately, restrictions with pandemic means that people cannot approach the bar, but hopefully they make an exception. Ron, I hope service gets better. Cynthia says, this is so exciting. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you. Let me see if I can show the pour. They're just slow at serving. But the Guinness actually takes a little bit longer the way they serve it traditionally. It takes a little bit longer than it does with any other type of beer you might buy in America. They do this process where they fill up, hopefully I could get to show you. They fill up just a little bit, and then, yes, wonderful. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right. Yes.
Oh, okay, so you're still live as we speak. So, can I... Is the microphone on?
The microphone is on, yes. So you want to speak?
No,
yeah.
no.
Okay. Yeah.
So can I just check, are you going to try to get them to talk or anything?
To repeat that?
Do you want them to talk?
No talking. I just want to show the full pour.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, basically.
I read the Vito Day Association.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much. All right. Hey, just want to show the full pour.
Cool.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, okay, wonderful. Thank you. Yeah, go for it. Thank you. Settle for a certain amount of time. How much is exactly the time it settles?
109 seconds.
109 seconds. All right, thank you. 109 seconds, everyone. So we're going to see the full 109 seconds. Enjoy. So the reason we actually see the bubbles going, cascading down as opposed to maybe an IPA or any other type of beer that you might buy that's carbonated is that bubbles usually go up in those type of beers. But here they cascade down. They cascade down due to a very unique part of the glass, which is unique to Guinness. And the glass actually makes it so it kind of curves down the bubbles. So they actually go up, but they curve down and they come up and they slowly go down again. And this is how they do it. They actually pour a slow pour, you just wait. Now, when it comes to the glass is what makes this to pour into maybe like a regular beer glass that you would see in Germany, then you wouldn't get this effect. At least not as much. And then beyond that, the reason... So now we're waiting for it to settle down. So I'm so excited. Matt says, your perfect pint, complete with its creamy white head, just dome proud on the glass rim. Yeah, we're about to see the actual... Oh, wonderful. Perfect. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right. Let me I'll grab a seat again. Someone took my seat, unfortunately. So let me sit over here. Yeah, let me grab this seat. Yeah, someone took my other seat. Thank you. Don't mind me, I'm filming right now. All right, so here is a proper stout, extra dry stout, infused with nitrogen. look at this beautiful head, lots of head over here, and try out slancha, everyone. Oh, so good. That's absolutely delicious. Now, the way they pour it, because of the shape of the glass, and also because of the nitrogen properties, this head stays on for the entire journey. The entire time you're drinking beer, you'll have head all the way. Lasting head of the beer world. Lucy says, such a cute white mustache. Indeed. Hello, MDN. Perfect Guinness mustache. Thank you so much. Gigi says, slancha. Got to love some good head. Indeed. You gotta love some good head. Wow. It does taste very fresh. So, any old pub, especially in America, actually do taste the freshness. And it's mostly because of how kind of bright the flavors are. Ooh. Oh my god. So you get like a light coffee flavor to it, which is actually has a similar taste to what you would experience with like a cold brew coffee that's kind of a lighter in flavor. Like you can have with a coffee stout, which I also really love, but I don't think Guinness has those. Oh, that's so good. I think it's the same one. And it's actually very low in calories. It has like 170 calories for the entire glass, which is like amazing. It's the best thing ever. Says it's horrible, says Chaotic Ranger. Yep, indeed. I prefer draft. Nonetheless, regardless of where I am at, I prefer draft. To draft you and guarantee freshness of beer. Now, beer used to be and the draft would be connected to the wooden casket. The thing is, with the wooden casket, it will be exposed to a lot of air, so it would degrade very quickly. And by degrading very quickly, it was bad for business. Because A, you can have very stale beer, B, you can have with fungus, which wouldn't be so good, or C, you can have beer that before you can finish it, and the pub loses money. So Guinness was among one of the first companies to actually use those metal containers. And then with a metal container, you can use any gas you would like instead of CO2, which is carbon dioxide. And Guinness was among one of the first companies and the first internationally based beer company to use nitrogen instead of CO2. And recently in America, we actually have CO2, nitrogen being used for coffee, nitro cold brew. Well, look at that head. That head is still lasting. So good. And the bubbles are so fine and small that they just like bubble in your mouth, but just gently. It's just gently bubbling in your mouth. I'm enjoying this video very at 9:45 a.m. You're in Los Angeles, says Melody. Yeah, Melody, thank you so much for being a super urbanist, mega urbanist. I really do appreciate it. Has to say slancha, it means help. Yes, indeed, slancha. And Cad Mila Fadcha to everyone out there. Thank you so much. And yes, I drink coffee stout from Rouge Brand Brewski. And Joe says Guinness gives great head. It does indeed. It does indeed. Look at this amazing head. If you don't know what head is, it's the little foamy part. That's what it is. For the crack. Have you ever been to the Roxbury? No, I have not fully explored Dublin yet. To its cold. Yeah, it is indeed ice cold right now. Yeah, it's so good. Sunshine says nothing like good head. Right, indeed, nothing like a good head. Delicious. Good malty, hoppy head. So indeed it is ice cold. I'm not sure if it's usually served ice cold. Let me know. I think Guinness is usually meant to be served a little bit less cold. Here they put it really ice cold. Here, so I got to put on my cardigan. Don says, must be nice to be in the land where they speak English. Oh yeah. It is nice to speak English. I miss the English language. Judith says, other people are wearing a jacket. Ariel is hot. I'm chilly. Air conditioning here to max. I don't think they want people to stay here for too long. Maybe a nice little trick. I don't blame them. For people not to stay too long here. Cold, says Helen. Well, it's cold outside, definitely, but not this cold. They have air conditioning in here. And Sally says, me too, I'm a lightweight. Other people are wearing a jacket. Indeed, Judith, thank you so much for tuning in. Street or Lower Harcourt Street, says Rivia. Okay, cool. Thank you so much for the recommendation. A harp is carved into the glass. Yes, it is. This is a nice glass. Very nice glass, right there. Look at that. Beautiful. Do they make shepherd's pie in Ireland? Yes, it's very common, though. Shepherd's pie in Ireland doesn't actually have. It's made with mashed potatoes. So no pie is involved in Irish shepherd's pie. It's just mashed with a stew. So I'm not sure if you can call it a pie, but they do. The glass. It should be 5% or less. 4 to 5%. I don't think it's more than that. Stouts in America could go usually about 6%. Because I need to make up for that pie incident. The Great Pie Fiasco of 2021, probably one of the most controversial, where I went to an English-style restaurant in New York, and I ordered the shepherd's pie, and there was no pie. It was just mash with a bunch of meat. And for the confusion was that it's Irish style. But I found that reasoning to be rather flimsy because it was a English flag or British flag all over. And even the name was rather English. And the menu said this is an English menu. Yeah, I get that Irish have a different shepherd's pie, but don't serve Irish. But nonetheless, now I'm very well prepared. That experience, while it was a rocky one, prepared me pie for Irish-style shepherd's pie. Or at least not to expect a pie, but to expect the mash with the meat. Mashed potatoes, that is. Hey, Judah says perfect pairing, the cardigan and the shirt. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I usually don't drink beer, but when I do, it's a good Guinness. Slancho. If you want to hire me as your spokesperson, I'm not Irish at all. I may have maximum 10% Irish genetics, maximum. But I'm willing to work out a deal. Too, Jacob. All the plan is Ireland. Mashed potatoes, says Christine. Really, Christine? That's blasphemous. Shepherd's pie should have some type of pie, but maybe that's my American point of view. Sinead says that's enough, Ariel. Why is that? Oh, that's enough Irish blood to become a spokesperson for Guinness. 10%. I can easily pass by, I think, as a what they call a Black Irish. Not referring to the Afro-Irish population here. There's, I think, a small percentage, but Black Irish are Irish people with black hair, and they sometimes have lighter eyes, which is the case with like actors like Colin Farrell. He's a Black Irish. I unfortunately don't have light eyes. No. I could have. My grandfather has green eyes, so I was this close to looking. Every time I watch these videos, I feel so thankful for you to take all of us with you and telling us advice. My pleasure. Right now, there's very popular music playing, so this video will probably be demonetized. So that means you'll probably see ads on the video, but I won't be making money from it. However, I still make all the money from Super Chats, from PayPals, from Patreons. So huge round of hearts right now to all the people who support in various different ways. Thank you so much. Makes it easy for me to still keep making these live videos in all these different circumstances. And while there are other channels out there that do live video, I like doing live video in a variety of different environments, including environments like these that are like bars and attractions that sometimes involve these commercial music playing around. Because easily I can make live videos just outdoors, like some other channels, which is awesome, but that's not my style. I do a... Kay says... Judah says, oh, that hair caressing, you're like a photo model. Your short is dark. What are you referring to, JK? Newfoundland Irish, Cape Cod Irish, says Morgan. Oh, cool. That's awesome that you're from Irish descendant from Canada/Cape Cod. That's really cool. Is Guinness easy to find in the US? Yes. Ludo, great question. Guinness is much easier to find in the US, by far. Probably the most popular stout you'll find in the US. So, early in Guinness's history, by the 1830s to 50s, around there, give or take, they actually were selling more beer in England than England was selling beer here in Ireland. So for most of early Irish history, England had a monopoly over in everyday Irish life. Ireland was an agricultural country. Unfortunately, it was used mostly as a or for the British. But when people say English, it's because the English were mostly involved. Not too many Scots, I think, were involved in, or Welsh were involved in the entire plantation business. Never really took off in Ireland So it's something very special, I think, to a lot of Irish. Is one of the biggest beer companies in the entire world, and it's known all around the world, from the U.S. Japan, Guinness is drunk basically everywhere. It says as synonymous as Coca-Cola is with soda, Guinness is with stout or dark beers. That said, it's also a very kind of, I think, special that at least one industry overtook what used to be a British-owned industry of beer. Roxanne, thank you so much for a $5 super chat. I appreciate you. I'm going to show you the views of this after I finish this glass. And then, for anyone who wants to see a tour of the restaurant. Actually, I think we might have a second pint. We're gonna have the pint with my face. Ronald and McCulley's sponsored that pint. But if you want me to feature the food as well, because after those 2 pints I'm gonna need some food, and maybe we can feature some food that features some Guinness, I'm opening up the coffers for that. So Roxanne so far has joined, and Susan earlier for sending stars. Thank you so much, Susan. And all the star senders, thank you so much for sponsoring part of the meal. So we will be featuring a few more things. Excuse me. Ireland beer is... What are you referring to, JK? Do let me know. Are you going to Slane Castle where you two performed? I don't know yet. Maybe. Maybe I got feature a castle or two. I will at some point. I mean, we technically went to a castle yesterday, Dublin Castle, but I'll feature castles out and about. How do you find food prices in Dublin? They're pretty much in line with American food prices. I don't find them to be more expensive than New York. And I find them to be not too bad. I was a bit afraid I was going to be very expensive, but not too bad yet. Do they offer shots here? No. Oh, Roxanne is joining and sponsoring a huge $20 sponsor. Thank you so much. Go ahead and let out a good beer burp. Yeah, I have a good beer burp. You caught me. Okay, so I gotta connect my battery because I'm running a low battery. So you're gonna audio. Got plug. There we go. So bear with me. Just Vibe says, am I tipsy? No. You need to remember to pop in to see Enya in her castle. She is? Do let me know. Is Enya Irish? Morgan says, change the fuel rods, man. Do what you got. Slang, are you Irish or Scottish? Do remind me. Gave a very generous $19 super chat. Okay, now I'm connected. She gave me a very generous $19 super chat. So Roxanne is joining in on sponsoring the meal here at my dinner. Some Guinness dinner here at the Guinness Storehouse. So thank you so much. And it's funny, I reached out to Guinness Storehouse saying I was going to do a live video for 20 or 40 minutes, and now it's been 2 hours. So Guinness Storehouse, I hope that's okay. Thank you so much for inviting me over. Christine, thank you so much for the stars. Alright, let me show you a little bit more of the views. I gotta do something real quick on my phone, answer a quick email, but I will show you the views as I do that. I'll be back in a few minutes.
How's your view?
The view is amazing.
Yeah, how's your pint?
The pint is even better.
Well, I have another one on the way here.
Oh, cool. All right. Thank you so
All
much.
right.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries.
Thank you.
Just being nice, you know what I mean? It's quiet. It's quiet, so I'm in a nice place. Like, you know what I mean?
I love it. Thank you. Thank you.
No worries.
Okay, everyone. Sorry for the slight interruption. They just offered me another pint, so wish me luck. They offered me another pint. They're so kind. So thank you so much, Guinness Storehouse, for offering me another pint. I guess we have to finish this one. Hey, Golf Delta Echo says, thanks for the videos in Dublin. Heading there next month. You require wonderful.
Enjoy. How was it so far? You enjoyed it?
Yes, a wonderful experience.
Good,
Yeah.
good.
And the beer tastes really fresh, of course. Yeah.
I'd say it tastes even nicer after going downstairs and going through all the attractions and learning about it.
Cooks up the appetite.
That's what I hear. I always hear that.
Right.
Anyway, enjoy.
Thank you. All right, wonderful. They're very nice here. That's all. Okay, everyone. Let's in Ireland, there's a tradition of buying around for everyone. Of course, I'm here on my own, and I'm taking about 350 people around with me today. But since we can't buy another round of beer per se, do consider right now, or right after this broadcast has ended, go to TripAdvisor and leave them a 5-star house. Leave a 5-star review. Consider that a way of buying them the round of drinks afterwards. Don't mention the live stream. Don't mention as if it were the live stream. Just as if you were here. You watched the entire video. Basically joined the entire experience. Don't need to mention that was virtual. So go to TripAdvisor and leave a 5-star review, or Google reviews, whichever you prefer. Do one of those two. And leave a 5-star review to buy a round for Guinness Storehouse that was so kind enough to invite me yet to a second round as well. So thank you so much. All right, let's try this. You saw that the other one, the head lasted all the way through. I'm so excited to get another good Guinness mustache going on. They realized you were a professional, and now the treatment begins. says Morgan. Indeed it does. Indeed it does. I think they got wind of it. They got wind of the very 20-minute live. I usually say those small numbers when I reach out to people, because I don't want a place to feel afraid that, oh my god, you're gonna do a 2-hour live video. Oh no. So I usually say, oh no, it's 20 or 40 minutes, if they decide to appear on camera. You do them long. So, of course, they're not really doing in-person tours, so they gave me a ticket for a self-guided tour. And yeah, this is way more. That's amazing. You know, one amazing pro of having a mustache is that you can store some extra food and drink with you for later, which is an amazing thing. Guinness should be a sponsor. Indeed, yes, indeed, class. This was a bit short notice. I did not explore a sponsorship, but I'm glad that they are giving a nice treatment over here. That's very nice of them. Irene says, now I have a double mustache. Indeed I do. Let me show you more of this. And now we're gonna have some food. So right there, we see one of the biggest obelisks in the entire world, which we passed on the bus tour. And here is a huge storehouse. Oh yeah, DC, sorry. Dean, thank you so much for clarifying. Yeah, you're right. The Washington, DC is definitely the biggest obelisk in the world. By far the tallest. I think probably the second, or the biggest in Europe. So thank you so much for clarifying. DC is the biggest one. This one might be the biggest one in Europe. My son-in-law built those Guinness towers. They did. Oh, so cool, Helen. That's amazing. Does your son still work with St. James Gate? It's a beautiful tour. Wow. Excuse me, what's the percentage of alcohol on Guinness? This one? 4.3. Okay. So 4.3. 4.3. Give or take. 4.3. So it's a lot less than American beers usually are about 4.6 to about 5.1, around there, give or take. Craft American beer is much higher. Craft American beer usually is about 6%.
Is there a table over there?
Sunshine says I'm calculating. I'm not calculating. It's because a lot of people ask. A lot of people ask what's the percentage of beer. I usually drink 6% beer. Not to gloat, it's just that I'm used to drinking American craft beer, which is much more heavier. I usually don't drink too much of the kind of commercial beers, or kind of more of the commercial beers. I usually am not too much of a fan of. And of course, since I'm based in New York, that's why I'm drinking New York beers. But when I'm traveling, of course, I taste the Italian beers when I was in Italy. I tried the Greek beers when I was in Greece. And I tried the German beers when I was in Germany. I actually never been to Germany, but when I was in Czech, I tried the Czech beers. All those beers have a lot less alcohol percentage. Have you tried 10% alcohol? I have. Who asked this? This is a great question. I think the percentage is lower than Ireland. So anyone can check right now, Macaulay. It's a great question. If anyone can check right now, Matt has been so kind enough in leaving a bunch of amazing search information on comments on the Facebook. So thank you so much. A round of hearts to Matt on Facebook for leaving extra info. So Matt has been leaving extra commentary and facts about Guinness during this broadcast. If anyone can Google right now, what is the alcohol percentage of Guinness in America? If anyone can let us know. And if you're in the UK, let us know what's in the UK. Desmond says, I'm not an expert, but once you finish, you're going to be very happy. Indeed I will. Indeed I will. So feel free to ask me any questions. Since we're on the second pint, the Q&A portion of this video has been extended. So someone earlier asked, have I tried 10% beer? Many times. I love what's called a triple. The triples are 8 to 12%. The highest beer percentage I've ever tried in my life has been even stronger than wine. I think I've tried an 18% beer. It's been between 16 and 18%. And it was an imperial stout, I think it was. So stouts were advertised in the late 1800s with as being Russian because they were so strong, and that's where they got the name Imperial Stout. There's a few different types of stouts. There's the dry extra stout, which is this one. There is the milk stout, which sometimes is infused with actual milk or lactose, and there is the Imperial Stout as well. So there's a few stouts, and those stouts usually all have the same percentage, except the Imperial Stout is much stronger. And I think the strongest ever beer I've had was an Imperial Stout. That was like crazy amount, 16 to 18%. I think it was from a company called Evil Twin Brewery, I think was the name of the company. What score have you gotten on the breathalyzer test? I've never been stopped breathalyzer test, says no. Don't drink and drive, everyone. Be responsible when you drink. Of course, I am walking here in Dublin to my Airbnb, so I will be okay when it comes to drinking. Clash of Stadium, should I go now? Yeah, it's playing right now. Be true, was it enjoyable? Says Alexander. What are you referring to? Oh, the very strong beer? Yeah. Yeah, I really like super strong beers. The thing is, you can't drink those American craft beers that are very strong in alcohol. You can't drink them like a Guinness. You can't serve them in a pint. If you serve an American craft beer that's high in alcohol on a pint, you might regret it because you're gonna get drunk a little bit too quickly. They're more for slow sipping, like a whiskey. So yeah, I really do enjoy it. It's almost at 4.2% is in the UK. Wow, it's even lower in the UK. And 5.6% in the US. What? Wow. UK is so low. So low in the UK. And the foreign extra stout, 7.6, 7.5. We're at the restaurant. Well, stay tuned. Leanne says, Ariel staggering toward Dublin. Indeed. This is going to be a very long video, everyone. But when drinking a good Guinness, you got to take your sweet, sweet time. So let me know if you enjoyed the tour. And I'm still putting it out there if anyone wants to the portions of the video so people can easily navigate them before. Feel free to do so on YT. I would be so appreciated if anyone wants to volunteer and doing that. So thank you so much. UK is 4.2%, yet they get drunker, says Joe. Yes, indeed they do. The English like to get drunk, and I think they have quite a reputation for it, especially tourists. English tourists have a reputation for getting very, very drunk. Have you been to Kilimanjaro? Pardon the pronunciation, Kathy. Great question. Wow. It's gassy beer. Someone asked me how am I feeling. These pints are strong. Thank God I had food before coming on this tour, I'll say that. I think I'm gonna need more food after this. So with the jail, it's sold out, unfortunately. Unfortunately, it's sold out. So it's sold out until mid-October. So what I end up doing is reaching out to the jail itself and see if they allow me to go in, or maybe they'll give me a tour on live video. So hopefully, crossing fingers. If you are Irish and would love to reach out to the jail, JAOL, the famous landmark here related to the Irish independence, the Easter Rising. If you want to reach out to them and let them know about me, about my show, feel free to do so. I'll give you permission to do so, so thank you so much. It might give them a nudge to reach back to me, and so I can get access to it. But yeah, it's sold out until mid-October, and I'm not here in mid-October. So. Guinness farts for a reason, says Helen. Really, they're called Guinness farts. I think I think the tars are ending because it's getting emptier. Sunshine says I'm having a drink with you. Oh, thank you so much. Kathy says will do. Okay, yes. So feel free to reach out to them via email or DM on Instagram and let them know, hey, Urbanist, we would love to see a video tour of the jail. I do videos about history, so feel free to let them know. Desmond says, you want me to go back to Santorini? Maybe I'll show some similar clips here in Dublin. Stay tuned. Morgan says, I will email them right now. Thank you so much. Yeah, so send them the link. Remember, I have 100,000 people who tune in on Facebook and YouTube together. Hannah, thank you so much for the stars. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Let's go and drink some beer now. Indeed. You know, why is that word so hard to pronounce? Edited in the past tense. It's a vlogger's worst enemy to pronounce that word on the video. But on the edited video, I can cut out these parts and just pour, sip, drink, boom, glass, done, go to the restaurant. But here, no, we're doing it live. So you're seeing the full drinking experience. Everything, every last bit of it. We can't show you the full, we can't show you an abbreviated experience because it's live. So you're here for every last sip. Mike, send 1,500 stars. Thank you so much, Mike. I appreciate you. Mike, very generous, 1,500 stars on Facebook. Stars are counted for twice if we reach to 100,000 by September 26th. We only have a few days left, so thank you so much. We are 60-something thousand stars in, so we have about 40-something thousand stars left. Thank you so much. Helen says that's the best part about live video. Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to do a TikTok. Maybe I'll do a Guinness TikTok somewhere else later. Have you tried some marine beer? No, not yet. In 10 minutes, the sunset? Sunset, ladies and gentlemen. Let me finish up this beer so I can show you the Irish sunset. It's very romantic. With the caveat that you drink a few pints. After about 2 pints, the Irish sunset is going to be one of the most romantic sunsets you've seen. But you gotta have 2 pints. That's the requisite with the Irish sunset. Otherwise, you'll realize it's just a gray, gloomy sunset. And that's it. It's just gray. But once you drink the pints, all the shades of gray start illuminating, and you'll realize, wow, there's about 50 shades of gray as I'm drinking this pint with a very long-lasting head. Wow, it's beautiful. Gorgeous sunset. I asked you if you read Irish literature, because storytelling conversation is a huge part of Irish culture, says Charles. Admittedly, I have not read too much Irish works. I actually don't read too much literature. I'm a huge fan of reading nonfiction. If I read fiction, it's usually a graphic novel. And the graphic novelists I've read are all English. So, no, I have not read too much of Irish literature, unfortunately. But I do appreciate it. I've read quotes of Oscar Wilde, W.B. Yeats, and they all seem very beautiful. Especially Oscar Wilde. It's made me very curious in seeing a production of the importance of being earnest. Ronald says, I think you have to eat. I think I do. So after this pint, looking at the sunset glow through your glass. Indeed. Ariel Ryder Guinness. Ooh. How many pints have you had in one sitting before? I'm not that much of a heavy drinker, but the most amount of pints I've had hanging out in the bar with friends for the crack has been 7 or 8, probably around there, 7 or 8 pints. By that time, I definitely feel drunk. Sorry, I'm getting Guinness burps. What time does the restaurant close? Great question, Helen. Oh. Alright. Views and Guinness. Let's go. That was absolutely amazing.
Good, yeah. I like the mask.
Oh, thank you so much.
Where'd you get that?
I ordered it online from a small designer in Queens, New York.
Queens, New York, so you're from the States?
I'm from the States, yeah.
Nice.
But I used it today because it's the same colors as Guinness.
Nice, it is.
Yeah,
and that's your glass as well.
They do indeed.
Quite chic, I must say.
What time does the restaurant downstairs close?
Well, generally speaking, it will close at around 7 or half 7.
Yeah.
However, tonight's culture night, so I believe it's pushed its hours back to 8 or 9.
Okay, 8 or 9.
Are you on Instagram or anything like that?
I'm doing right now YouTube and Facebook.
YouTube and Facebook.
Right.
What is your what's your handle?
Urbanist Exploring Cities.
Urban what?
Urbanist Exploring Cities.
Exploring Cities.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. And right now I have about 500 people tuning in.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. All right. It's a very, very nice service. Thank you so much, Guinness Storehouse. And it seems like they're giving nice service to everyone because just deserving. It's not just because I'm here making it to be. How much for the glass? Oh, the glass, I will tell you later in the comments, but I just gotta show you a 360 view, so bear with me. Excuse me. So here are the views of Dublin. surrounded by a few mountains. Did not realize that. That's interesting. Helen, do you need a reservation? I think you have to technically take the tour to even come up here or be part of an event. So I don't think you could just pop in. Let me show you over here. So they said that the restaurant is open pretty late, which is nice. So look, yeah, I did not realize Dublin is actually surrounded by a few mountains. That's interesting. Ooh, so I might go to one of the mountains at some point in this trip. Stay tuned. It's gonna be a pretty early live video if I do. And the reason I'm going is because one of the biggest occult groups in the world, one of the biggest occult groups in Dublin, in Ireland, were based right here. I have recommended Joseph Mitchell before. Joseph Mitchell, he wrote Cloud Atlas. I really love the movie that was based on his work. I tried reading Cloud Atlas. It's a great book. He was heavily influenced by James Joyce. Really? Interesting. I can kind of see it. So everyone, an Irish sunset right there. I see all the shades of gray because I already had two pints. So stay tuned. I might go to the mountain to see a very mysterious house known as one of the most haunted places in all of Ireland. Let me know if you would like to see that on a live video / short TikTok. One of the most haunted places in all of Ireland, known for housing the Hellfire Club. I gotta take a taxi there though, so I'm so excited to go there. Says yes, please. YouTube, if possible. Yes, live video. If I end up doing it as well. Short one, at least. And let's go a little bit down here. And there we go. Yeah, we've seen most of the views. Now let me go downstairs. So here's Guinness 00. 0% alcohol. So if you don't abstain from alcohol for whatever reason, you can have a 00. It'll still have the taste of the Guinness though. I think I could go down here. Let's go down here. And here's St. James's Gate, which is the entire Guinness brewery. Still made here to this day. Oh, Charles, thank you so much for clarifying. I did not realize you were talking about different Joseph Mitchell. There's another Joseph Mitchell as well. Gary says, when hiring a car, can't wait to see you try stick shift. Susie says, I'm all for haunted everything. All right, let's go downstairs. Okay, so right now we're gonna go to the restaurant. I'm gonna go to the restaurant first. And the pint with my face will have to wait. So thank you so much, everyone who sponsored that. I'll do my best to show it. But let's do the restaurant first. The reason I'm doing restaurant first is because I cannot do a third pint before eating food. Please use the lips towards the center. What do they mean? The lips towards the center. Oh, I think these lifts don't work. Bear with me. I'll find the lift. Process, get a third plate for dessert. I'm gonna see if there's a different type of. He says they'll lock you in to drink more. I'm not sure if anyone has ever seen Game of Thrones and seen the Red Wedding. It's the Guinness version of that. All right, let's go to the restaurant. So we're gonna go to the Brasserie. Hey. Yes. Just give me a second. Okay, everyone. Can you hear me now? Let me know. Are you able to hear me now? I had to mute for a little bit. Let me know if you're able to hear me now. Great. I had to turn off sound for a little bit because they ask for contact info when it comes to going to restaurants here. Sometimes I've encountered it maybe 50% of the time. They've asked for contact info. Order some. Roman says, "Can you hear me now?" That is from a advertisement called Verizon. AT&T is a different company in the US. Okay, I'm going to show you the menu. See if anything has... so noisy, the place is acoustically terrible. It is. We are indeed in the factory building. So factory buildings are usually very bad acoustically. So I hope that's okay. So I'm going to just show you the larger plates. They have fish of the day, sourced by a local fisherman. Caesar salad. We have a summer feast. And some sourdough. And some smaller plates. Served with Guinness brown bread and Kerry gold butter. Oh my god. Helen says there's no stew. No stew here. No Guinness stew. I'm actually kind of shocked. No Guinness stew. I am definitely shocked. Do they have desserts? Let's see. They do. They have a Guinness in a glass. Guinness chocolate mousse, roast barley gelato, malt crunch. Ooh, that sounds amazing. Okay, so definitely getting the dessert and probably trying the fish. Yeah, probably trying the fish. Yeah, ready to order.
It's just yourself, yeah?
Just myself, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yes.
What would you like?
What's the fish of the day?
Mussels in tomato sauce with some garlic bread.
Oh, okay. And, ooh, spicy Irish beef. What's that sourdough? How does
It's like pizza.
It's like pizza. Oh, okay. I'll try the spicy Irish beef, please.
No problem.
With, actually soup. I'll try them both at the same time.
Soup as well, yeah.
And then, do you have any other beers that are outside of the droughts?
Yeah.
Basically? Yeah, which
What are you
ones?
looking for?
Oh, what else does Guinness make?
Hop House, 13 Lager, Rockshore Lager.
They're all made by Guinness?
All made by Guinness.
Oh, wow. That's kind of cool. Do you have any amber?
No.
No amber.
Like we do have,
Yeah.
but not in here. If you go to Open Bay Brewery,
Yeah.
that's the other place. It's just on the opposite side in the storehouse.
Yeah.
And that's they have so I think they have every month different type of beer.
Oh, very cool.
Yes.
Any of these rare to find outside of
The
Ireland?
foreign extra stout, but that's really strong. If you like strong beer.
I'll try the foreign extra stout.
Okay.
Thank you so much. And also a glass of water, please. So we're trying the foreign extra stout. It's very strong. Very strong. We're going full out. Full out. Not getting the mussels is I'm not in the mood for shellfish because last year I traveled to Washington D.C. and I ate a lobster roll and I ended up getting a severe allergic reaction, and then in Mexico I ended up getting possibly food poisoning, possibly from oysters. So I've just been having a terrible experience with shellfish. So end up getting for the flatbread. But the flatbread seems to be a little bit Irish because it has some local sausage. Hope you're using a gimbal after all that heavy beer. Indeed I am. Extra strong, this could get messy, says Leanne. Well, it's the beauty of live video. We're just gonna find out. And I love this. Susie, our local Scottish viewer, says, do you need to Thank you so much. You guys usually don't serve this on draft?
No. Only on draft we have Guinness and Hop House 13, or Rockshire Lager.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, thank you so much. All right. So they usually don't serve this on draft. This is the foreign extra on the bottle. So let's try this out. This is the stout I'm looking for. As I mentioned before, I usually enjoy American crafts. Lorraine, thank you so much for 500 stars. I really enjoy the craft beers of America, and America has a few great stouts. Like Left Hand Beer Brewing is one of them. This is more in line with the stouts I enjoy. Ooh. It's super chocolatey. Super chocolatey. It tastes like milk chocolate. Very deep malt flavor to it. Very deep. Ooh. Oh, that's so good. Ah. It's super deep, very hearty flavor to it. You can definitely taste the sugariness that comes from the malts, that barley that's very roasted. And wow, that's so good. Has a smell of coffee to it. That is amazing. Oh, that is amazing. I wish this was a draft, but it's rare to find these kind of heavy beers on draft. But the beef and Guinness pie is in Arthur's bar. Just check the menu. Sinead, really? Oh no. I did not realize that they had beef and Guinness pie just next door. Oh no. It's too late now. Too late now. Is it CO2 or nitro? Let's see. Let's see. It strikes me to be nitro. Yeah, it's nitro. Hello says cancel your order. Oh, too late. Too late to cancel my order. We're in it for the long run. I'm addicted to Starbucks Nitro, Chris. Chris is referring to Nitro cold brew coffee, which in America, I'm not sure if it's become popular yet in other parts of the world. Definitely popular in more and more places in America. It's cold brew coffee infused with nitrogen, and it has that same velvety texture as a good Guinness. So, I do love it. Someone earlier mentioned that there is a coffee stout offered by Guinness. It's interesting. I didn't know Guinness offers so many wide variety of stouts. Your food will be fabulous. Don't worry. Yeah, I think so. I think so. We're trying something new. Unfortunately, I would have loved to try the Guinness pie. Oh my. The good meat pie. Ooh, would have gone crazy for it. But I didn't realize that the other place had pie. You'll be hooked on Guinness. You'll be drinking one a day, says JK. Maybe. If Ariel drinks much more, it'll be him going up to strangers and asking if you have any spare money. Don't worry, I'll be okay, Gary. Ramon says I'll be seeing double tonight. 7,000 plus stars were sent tonight? Oh my god, can we get to 10,000 stars? Can we? Oh no. Let me know. Can we get to 10,000 stars? Helen, you're fuming. Why are you fuming? It's okay. I'll find the good steak and Guinness pie. It's okay, Helen. It'll happen at some point. We were very close, but yet so far. How can you tell if it's CO2 or nitro? The way you can tell, at least from taste, is by the bubbles. The bubbles are very small. They have this kind of it's more gentle on your tongue rather than kind of the bigger bubbles of a carbonated drink with CO2. Ronald says, folks, let's reach 300 likes. Let's do it. We have quite a lot of people tuning in. Helen says, I want you to get Irish stew. Someday soon. Ooh, wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you. Enjoy. I'm excited. This is not a traditional Irish meal. But don't worry, we'll find traditional Irish meals elsewhere. We have quite a bit more time here in Ireland. But, oh my. This is a very good spin of classic Irish with some modern elements. Do you guys want to see the food, or would you rather use your power of imagination as the great literary writers of Irish history have done? Would you rather be like Oscar Wilde or W.B. Yeats and use the power of your mind to imagine this beautiful meal that has been set forth upon me here amidst the beautiful views of the Irish cityscape? Or will you rather just show you the food? I don't know. It's up to you. Vote now. Vote now, or forever hold your peace. So would you rather be an Irish literary or just see the food? Sally says, just show us the food. Lucy says, visuals, please. Leanne says, nah, show us the food. Sunshine says, let's imagine. Oh, interesting. Inline says, this man is getting poetic. That's what happens when you live stream more than 2 hours. Is it a dead animal? No, not quite. No dead animals. Oh, well, animals have died in the process of making this meal, but you don't see a full dead animal. Kathy says, stop teasing. Love to see the food. Linda says, show. Shellag says, food please. Shellag, are you watching from Ireland? Sounds like an Irish name, or it could be a Scottish name. Do let me know if you're watching from a Gaelic country. This way we can be hungry too. See it please, says Mirna. Okay, everyone voted to see the food, so I'll show you the food. If you insist. Okay guys, you weren't up for the crack. The crack was using the power of your imagination, but you're not up for the crack. So look at this soup. Oh my god, some good Irish brown bread made with Guinness, malted Guinness, and the soup. Can't wait to try the soup. Guinness inspired pizza. I'm so excited. AKA, what's the name of this vegetable again in English? In American? So I'm so excited to show you this. Wheaten bread, yeah! It's Guinness bread. Ooh, okay, so the soup. Let's see, it smells good now. Mmm. Wow. Oh my god. That is a good smelling soup. There's pumpkin involved in here somehow. Ooh. Wow. Arugula, thank you so much. Sorry, I said asparagus by mistake. Rocket is the name, but it's arugula in the US. But this soup, I think, is a pumpkin puree soup. It's a pumpkin puree soup, I think. Ooh. Wow. Oh, that's hearty. I've been wanting a good pumpkin soup. You know, I've been thinking about this. Because when I'm not doing live videos, I usually am thinking about foods I want to have. That's my form of manifesting. Is just thinking about foods I want to consume. And I've been thinking about good pumpkin soup. Ooh, it smells so fragrantly pumpkin. Looks like coriander to me. There's definitely a pumpkin flavor to this. I think there's a very good chance this is pumpkin, but there's other ingredients involved because it's not pure pumpkin puree. Wow. Sandy sent 675 stars. Sandy is joining in and sponsoring this meal. Thank you so much, Sandy, for sponsoring this meal. We have dessert left, and this will probably be the end of the live video. Because I probably won't be able to do another beer. For the people who sponsored the beer with my face on it, thank you so much. I'll be showing you this meal and this dessert instead. It could be butternut squash. It could be a butternut squash, yeah, you're right. It could be a butternut squash. It could be a butternut squash instead of pumpkin. Oh my god. Okay, so let's try it with this good Irish bread. Let's try this. Let's see how it is. That's very good. Wow. A little chocolatey flavor to it. But you have this. Yeah, it tastes like malt. It tastes malted. Wow. This is a really interesting bread. Wow. With some butter, but what we're gonna do is dip this bread into the soup. You need Kerrygold butter on it. I think I do, but we have soup to dip it in, and then I'm gonna try the pizza immediately thereafter. Where's the beef? No beef is involved in this soup, even though it would have been nice for some beef chunks in here, but at least we have some beef chunks in this pizza. Submerge that bad boy. Oh, look. There we go. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. French onion soup. Good soup. Wow. Oh, that's so good. That's it. That's all I gotta say about it. I'm not sure if it's the music. Let me know who's a musician. Or if it's the soup. Or if it's the beer. But this meal feels like a warm hug on a cold, wintry day right by the fireplace. As Susie earlier mentioned, does your future Scottish wife need to help you to get back to your lodging? And this soup and this beer and this music and these views feel like that warm hug after a very good night. Having some good crack out there in beautiful Ireland. Wow. Good soup. All right, let's try the pizza. Whew. Getting a little bit emotional from this amazing food. Let's try the pizza. There's pepper in here, which makes it very bright tasting. Good chunks of beef. And the Irish make good beef from my experience so far. Beef is a bit dried out, so it's a more dry cured meat. Has that type of flavor to it. It's really good. It's very interesting. And it's made on the sourdough, which is very interesting. I like that Irish people make a lot of sourdough bread. It's really awesome. Sourdough is a much longer process compared to most of the breads. And it has a lot of nutritional value. And I love the great taste of sourdough bread. That was amazing. Wow. He's gonna fade from the on. I think I might well. Everywhere. It says Google Mailbox. Yeah, that's interesting. So it's a recent phenomenon with Ireland. How did sourdough get so popular here? Sourdough is like a very American thing. I'm not sure where sourdough is from. I think sourdough became popular in America. And it wasn't because of the pandemic. It became popular, I think, in the 1980s in California. So let me know, how did sourdough get popular in Ireland? Soups I've had. I usually don't like soup. I mean, soup, come on. Soup. But as I mentioned, this soup feels like a good warm hug. And the smell so fragrant. Wow. And the combination with this bread, one of the better soups I've had in my life. Lots of fresh and delicious seafood in Ireland. Yes, I will experience it. I'm not in the mood for shellfish, but I will experience other types of Irish seafood. So Sinead says, so sourdough would have been quite popular in Ireland for a few years, a long time back. Then soda bread took over. Interesting. So sourdough was popular originally, and then soda bread took over. Thank you so much. Esfield says, you don't like soup. I don't eat soup. Which they also make in Puerto Rico, I really do enjoy, but I usually don't eat soup. So, another dip. Wow. Okay. So, and I've had the opportunity to try a few pieces of bread. I tried soda bread, I've tried sourdough, including right now, this malted bread. Impressed by Irish bread. Highly, highly impressed by Irish bread. It's probably one of the better bread countries I've been to. Tuning in. Don says, when I think of sourdough, I think of settlers of the American West in the 1800s. Yeah, indeed. Pizza with pineapple. No pineapples involved in this pizza. Just a type of cheese, mozzarella, I think, with a type of steak or some type of kind of steak, but it's cooked differently. It has a little bit of a drier flavor to it. And rocket. Loving this. Macaulay says now more Guinness. So let's try it out with the Guinness pouring extra stout. This is super heavy, so fair warning, if you get one of these heavier beers, and that's why they give you in the smaller glass, they will overpower the food. This is good for a dessert. This almost tastes like a, as opposed to a actual beer that you have with your meal. So this is pretty overpowering for the food that we're having. $49 in the California Gold Rush. Thank you so much for letting us know. Yeah, sourdough bread is interesting. I gotta learn more about its history. The dough is drunker than an Italian dough. says overall. So this is, yes, this is different from bread. Sourdough bread has a very different taste from Italian pizza. It's grainier in texture. It has, it's a bit more kind of fluffier, more airy, but not like the airy kind of a Roman pizza. It's a bit hard to describe, but when you bite into a sourdough bread pizza, it's going to taste very different from Italian pizza. I think another the bread is a bit louder than for pizza. It's a bit louder. It's more expressive. This is a really good pizza. I highly recommend it. Yeah. Bread and stout, not for the key. No, not at all, Chris. No, bread could be louder and expressive. Indeed, it can. This, for example, this dark bread, Sunshine, is very, very flavorful. Any French or Italian bread, a French baguette or an Italian bread. So yeah, keep that in mind. These there are breads that are very flavorful out there in the world. Is that in most places around the world we're used to bread being pretty neutral, because bread is supposed to kind of blend in with the other rest of the ingredients, or with like a butter or with the oil. Olive oil in the case of, but you can. I think Ireland is interesting with bread, because you have these breads that are kind of really, I don't know, meant to be eaten alone, in my opinion. Wow. I don't need to dip this bread at all. It doesn't even need butter. It's just way tasty on its own. Have you had a Guinness in the pub where they do the perfect pour? I did. So yesterday I started the video at a pub in Temple Bar area, but not the main strip. So it was a little bit more Irish hanging out there. And yeah, they did the original pour. I didn't get to show it because they were playing Beatles inside the. Doesn't work. But yeah, they did. The birthplace of Guinness was Kildare. Yeah, Sir Arthur Guinness is from Kildare. Yes, Paddy. That's right. Can gluten-free tournaments be found? I think in Dublin, yes. Dublin seems to be a very vegan / gluten-free friendly city. I haven't shown it because I'm not particularly looking for gluten-free products myself, personally, but it seems like a good place. However, if you are a person who is gluten sensitive in America, or countries like Puerto Rico or Mexico, do consider trying the bread here. Medical advice, but the reason I say that, excuse me, bread can be very chemically processed and also very genetically modified in America. And because of its genetic modifications and because of the monoculture, meaning that they only grow one type of wheat Now, one type of wheat is the same type of wheat all around the entire massive farms that are miles and miles long in Oklahoma and Kansas. They have more gluten. And because of the more gluten, they cause that gluten insensitivity to men. Used to eating bread in the US and you don't eat it because you have a gluten sensitivity issue and you're gluten free. I would recommend just to try gluten. You might be surprised how you don't get any of the symptoms that you would get in the US. Let's try this out. Sunshine asked, what's the cheese? Mozzarella. And Helen and Sunshine both asked, how's the pizza? It's really good. It's really good. It's really well balanced. Great sourdough bread. And rocket is indeed arugula, yes. Yeah, arugula is the American term, rocket is the European term. So I'm going to take the rest of because I want to save space for dessert. And I want to show you dessert as soon as possible. So I'm going to take that pizza to go. And I'm going to just have a little bit more of the soup because the soup is absolutely amazing. This bread in the soup, so feel free to ask me anything. Has pasado una fábrica de artesanes and you pass by artisan factories. Sí, aquí yo he visto varios tiendas que se ven como ellos venden productos artesanos, pero todavía no lo he investigado, todavía no he visitado esas tiendas. So, te aviso para atrás que ellos venden ahí. So I've seen a few artisanal shops for sweaters and things like that, but I have not tried them yet. Shakira is messy with their DMCA. Oh yeah, this video has been demonetized a long time ago. All right, let me order the dessert. Nice soup bowl would be nice as a souvenir. It would be, yeah. Is this your first trip to Ireland? It is indeed. It is indeed. All right, everyone. I gotta take a commercial break. So I'm going to leave my camera here with showing you the views of the Irish sunset. I will be back in about 5 minutes because I really... Stay tuned. If you see anyone steal the camera, like through the comments. Yeah, are you finished the soup? I'm going to take the pizza to go. And the soup on there. Thank you. So do you guys yell at the thief? Do let me know. Let me know if you away the camera. All right, they give me a box for the pizza, which I am going to enjoy back home because I think I'm going to need more food to fill up after all that immense amount of beer. So everyone who sponsored the stout with my face on it, you are sponsoring the dessert. So thank you so much to Ronald, to Susan, and to a few others. Thank you so much for sponsoring the dessert. Thank you so much. So give her a huge round of hearts, and Roxanne as well has sponsored the food. So give her a huge round of hearts to everyone right now that has sponsored this broadcast today. It has sponsored this meal. Huge round of hearts to Roxanne, Susan, Ronald, and we have a few others that have been very generous in giving huge stars. Those people who sponsored earlier today, do remind me. I think once you got back out into the streets, you'll have to stop on the way back to your place, says Macaulay's. Yeah, I'm going back home. I gotta do some work as well. But isn't it better to do work while under the influence? Do you know anyone in Ireland? Says Chris. I do. I have a very loyal, long-time mega urbanist who tunes in, who I know personally, Kay. So shout out to Kay. And do I have any friends? here with them at some point. And that's basically it. I used to have a friend who lived nearby, but she's recently have gone back to Paris. Mirna, thank you so much for €5 5 Canadians. Thank you so much for sending over 5 Canadians. Some bottles to take away. I think I'm all set for the beer. I think I've had a lot of beer tonight. JK says, yeah, sponsors, thank you so much for the interesting tour. In Greece, the weather's 35 degrees. We will wear a bikini and start swimming. Helen says, I smell some wedding cake. Why do you smell wedding cake, Helen? Is anyone making wedding cake? Leanne says, all the thieves were sent to Australia years ago. Indeed they were. Indeed they were. The average life expectancy of the original Irish settlers in New York was 38 years old. Ooh, that's so young. No thieves in Ireland, too many eyes in the sky, says Helen. Wonderful, thank you so much. I appreciate it, thank you. So everyone, here is the Guinness dessert. So a dessert made with a lot of elements of Guinness, including the gelato, which is made with malted barley. The chocolate, made with another element of dessert. I think hops are involved in this somehow. So here we have a Guinness dessert. Susie says, when are you doing a jig? You know, after seeing which is one of my favorite films, they do an Irish jig in that film. It's made me very curious about featuring an Irish jig on a YouTube live video. I don't know when, but sometime. Maybe we'll bump into a good Irish. So this looks good, yes it does. So let's try it out before it melts. I already got my pizza packed, ready to go. And order an Irish coffee to finish. Oh man, no. too much alcohol. So we got the Irish stout. And it's blurry because the camera's a little bit drunk. But look at this. Oh, that looks good. Ooh, someone said try a very famous drinking game, not drinking game, but a very famous combination of shots with beer in America. Do not. The reason is because unfortunately that term is very fresh in people's minds. So don't use that term. I'm not gonna even say it out loud. A few people wrote it down in the comments, but don't order that type of combination of a shot with. It's that definitely is. It might be insensitive here. So let's try this out. It looks like a KFC dessert cup. It does look like a KFC parfait. Yeah, it does, George. You're right. That's a very good chocolate. Wow. Amazing chocolate parfait. Chocolate cream or fudge. And I love wow. That's really good. It does have a similar taste to Kentucky Fried Chicken in America has a chocolate parfait, which is this combination of cold ice cream type of thing or frozen yogurt type of thing with some cake and with some fudge. But this is really, really good. The cake is amazing though. Wow. This fudge and cake. Has a pretty deep taste to it, so I assume they have some type of barley involved in it as well. And the gelato itself, let's try the gelato on its own. Yeah, it's a very interesting dessert. It's really good. If you enjoy your sweets, I think you'll really love this. Do I get taste from Guinness? No, I don't get any like Guinness taste to it. But definitely is the notes of a Guinness, which is super chocolatey. You have that malty flavor with the gelato. So you do have kind of those elements of Guinness. I think it might be good if you were to make an affogato with this. If I were to pour this into that, it might be pretty good. Stephanie says pizza and gelato in Ireland. Well, if I were to show you quote-unquote authentic Irish cuisine, unfortunately I think a lot of people would think it's not so interesting, including Irish people, because I myself have researched and heard from Irish food writers and podcasters that they said that Irish cuisine used to have a very terrible reputation for globalization. So I think Irish cuisine has its unique parts, like the bread, as I mentioned. Ooh, bread is amazing. And the actual like meats and the sausage. I try some good Irish sausage as well. It's really, really good, but a fully authentic Irish meal, it probably won't stick out to you too much. But yeah, we're in the Guinness storehouse, so they're appealing also to tourists. So you're not going to find like authentic Irish stew at the Guinness storehouse. It's going to be something a little bit more palatable. I wonder if I would try pig's feet. Well, pig's feet is actually Helen. Pig's feet is already something featured in America. I'm not the biggest fan. Coffee and chocolate is delicious mixed together. Yeah, it's a really, really good parfait. I love the cake. And Helen, I will be featuring an authentic Irish stew at some point in my trip here. Hey, we have a mistakenly banned. It happens. So sorry about that, Morgan. We'll take care of it. So sorry about that. Yeah, so sorry about that. But thank you so much. Hopefully, we'll take care of that. Cookie. Morgan's back. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Wow, that's a. That cookie definitely tastes like Guinness. Somehow they got the taste of Guinness in this cookie. Yeah. That's very good. I'm not the biggest fan of these super sweet desserts, but if you have a sweet tooth, this will be your jam. But if you want me to do something that won't be blasphemous at all, I don't think anyone would care in this country if I do that. It's not like Italy where they're very sensitive about their food. So let me know if you want me to make a makeshift affogato, pouring a little bit of this dark stout into the gelato left. Let me know if you want me to do. If you don't know what affogato is, it's usually espresso being poured over gelato. But in this case, we don't have espresso. Stout. A very strong stout. So, if you want me to do this, this is the very last part of this live video. Slam that like button right now. If you want to send any stars, send those stars right now. We're getting closer to our goal. And the reason I say that is because I want to show you more interesting parts of Ireland as well, outside of the city of Dublin. So those stars will help to showing you Dublin, especially if we get to double up 100K by September 26th. And we have about 38K left. Super chats. Send those super chats as well. Thank you everyone who has been sending super chats as well and sponsoring these videos. Oh, sure I have that email off, and I do. Thank you so much to Morgan. Sorry for the mix-up. Sometimes it happens. So everyone give hearts of Morgan. She just reached out to the jail, along with a few other urbanists. Thank you so much for reaching out to the famous jail here, part of a very famous part, notorious or infamous part of Irish history. So let's try this out. Sorry. Look at it, it bubbled up. Oh my god, it expanded. Oh. You got the beautiful Irish sunset. It bubbled up. It looks like a root beer float. Yeah, it does. Oh my god. Let's try it out. Move up all in my mouth right now. Wow, that was, ooh. It just tickled my mouth in all the right ways. Oh, that's so good. Okay, everyone. The affogato. Before I go, wow, this is really good. This is really good. Before I go, to buy a proverbial round of drinks for Guinness Storehouse for letting me film for such and treating me to the ticket of the round of drinks back. Consider leaving a 5-star review on TripAdvisor or Google. Don't mention because you basically saw the entire thing. Do consider leaving them a 5-star review. And that's buy themselves a round of drinks, proverbially. And wow, an Irish affogato. This is a great, oh my god. Get on this, Guinness. Get on this, Guinness. If you're watching right now, I know you're watching, Guinness. Get on this. there should be a Guinness affogato in this. Ooh, it's sharp. Ooh. Oh my god. With all the sugar, it'll get you drunk even faster. Look. Thank you so much for streaming this part of the Guinness tour. I'm so glad. Safe journey back to your Airbnb. I will have a safe journey to my Airbnb. Things are pretty chill here at night. It seems like there's some parts that it's pretty chill. It was invented right in front of your eyes. So Guinness, I give you full permission to use the Guinness affogato. Just name it after me. No, okay. The Urbanist affogato. Really appreciate all the support, the contributions. Huge shout out to Carol, everyone, the round of hearts to Carol. Carol left a gigantic PayPal, a huge PayPal. So I'm so grateful for you, Carol, for leaving a very gigantic PayPal and for supporting the show. And it really helps out for me to show more of the views of Ireland and other parts abroad and New York City as well. So huge shout out to Carol. She's one of many other. Also, I want to give specifically Carol a huge shout out, and the other PayPalers, thank you so much as well. For tuning in. I really appreciate all of you. I'm about to head out. I'm gonna buy myself a glass of Guinness glasses because they seem so. And I'll show you one more time the views of the Irish sunset, and then I'll bid you adieu. Or let me know how to say goodbye in Irish. Let me know. Let me show you the views one more time. More beautiful under 3 pints. Slán. Okay, thank you so much. Slán. Thank you so much. Slán. Look at. Slán to all the urbanists out there. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will be going and walking along the streets of Dublin. A little bit tipsy. Slán, everyone. Have a great day. Keep being awesome and always keep on exploring. Have a good day. Bye-bye.